Hey, what's up, fellas? How's it hanging? It's been a minute, but I am here today, and that's what's up. It's been a minute because I moved to college, and I'm in college now, and this is a college project for my college class. Um, so yeah, no, today I interviewed Gavin, homie Gavin. Sure, y'all know him. I interviewed him talking about the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Cardinals, how the Suns are going to be the undisputed 2024 NBA champions, which is guaranteed lock in. I'd bet a mortgage on it, and I stand by that. And then we move to how the Arizona Cardinals suck. I thought I had more there, but no, that's literally it. Gavin is super, super talented when it comes to talking about sports. It caught me a little bit off guard on how he was so good at it. It was honestly impressive. Super dope. Good conversation. Felt like I was Stephen A. Smith, except a lot less annoying. And yeah. So let's get to that. I am here with University of Oregon business major who would like to remain anonymous for the duration of this conversation. How are you doing today, Mr. Gavin Willis? All right, fellas, I'm here with my homie Gavin. What's up? How you doing?
Hello.
We're going to be talking about the future dynasty that is the Phoenix Suns first up. First off, what's your basketball team?
Well, if you're talking old, I'm from Seattle, Washington, so I obviously am a Supersonics fan, but we don't have them anymore. So
Couldn't be me.
I'm historically known for saying Blazers in 5.
Which has never been true.
Never. But
Never ever.
Scoot Henderson's good, so we'll see what happens.
Anyways, we're here to talk about the greatest team in NBA history, the 23-24 Phoenix Suns. How are you feeling about the Suns this season?
Here's the thing. I have had high expectations for the Suns for the past 3 years. I had
Since
them
the
winning it all, I think, about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When they had won the most games in the NBA.
Yeah.
It was like 60 something. They won. And I was severely disappointed. I was very happy that the Bucks won.
I was not. I was definitely not.
Well, obviously. But
no.
I think cause I'm a big Giannis guy. Love Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the Phoenix Suns have sucked always. They've always been bad,
yes. We had Tyson Chandler on our team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you had Steve Nash and still didn't win anything,
Yeah.
So I think that the expectations of, like, I understand Devin Booker's on the team. I understand you have other guys like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, who's cool, I guess.
Man, I have such mixed opinions on DA.
I don't think you have any depth.
After the offseason we just had?
I mean, is it gonna be enough to beat the Blazers in the Western Conference Finals? I don't think
we're going to have a better regular season record than the Blazers. We're going to win. I think the Blazers might get a game on us. I'm not too sure how many games they play against the Suns, but I don't see a world where the Blazers are better than this team. Because think about it.
Okay, maybe not the Blazers, but I just don't think that
beating the Nuggets.
I mean, yeah, DeAndre Ayton is not going to be able to hold his own against Jokic.
But to say they have no depth is crazy.
I think the Suns is a lot of flash. Is what I think it is.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton and Bradley. We didn't even mention Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is on this team as well.
Yes.
It's a lot of offense. It's a lot of flash. It's going to be really fun to watch highlights on ESPN. But at the end of the day, I don't think that they can go and become finals contenders. I don't think that that's going to happen. I could be proven wrong.
I hope you're proven wrong.
I mean, maybe. We'll see. But I think there's too many guys who need the ball to be successful.
Okay.
Kevin Durant is best with the ball in his hands. Devin Booker is fantastic with the ball in his hands. And Bradley Beal has been on a team for a long time
where he's been the number one guy.
He's been the guy.
Yeah.
He's only known. That's all he's known is being the guy on the team. I love John Wall, but he was never the guy on the never.
Yeah, I love when he threw up gang signs. That was cool.
That was cool. I like that part. But Bradley Beal is gonna have to adjust to having 2 superstars on his team. And I understand that, he's a shooting guard. I understand he can play point guard. I get it. He's a shooting guard. And who else is a shooting guard?
Devin Booker. That is true.
They're not necessarily facilitators. That's why, I understand. Chris Paul is old. He's washed. I think he's not going to be very good on the Warriors.
No, not at all.
But I just don't think they have. I think each player individually is fantastic and can play their role in being a contender on the right team. I don't think the Suns is the right team. They don't have that facilitator that can, because Bradley Beal, dog. Devin Booker, dog. Kevin Durant, dog. They can all score. They're all our number 1 scoring options. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like last year on the Suns, Devin Booker was the guy.
Yeah.
Like Chris Paul is good and all that stuff. Devin Booker is the guy. Right?
He's their franchise player.
Exactly. And Kevin Durant is great. The other thing I worry about with Kevin Durant is health. I think it's going to help a lot because you do have those other stars to play with him. And they're going to be able to kind of alleviate some of the pressure of him needing to be the only player on the Brooklyn Nets who was competent at playing basketball. But Kevin Durant, because again, that's my concern, is injury, right? You wanted him to be healthy in the playoffs. You don't want him to have to play 48 minutes to have his giant ass foot on the line to hit a 2 instead of a 3. You don't want that to happen. Right. So I think that having Devin Booker and Bradley Beal is going to help with that. It's going to make it so he doesn't have to be on the court all the time. But I think it's going to be tough to have them all mesh together. I think they just need playing time. And that's why I think regular season, if they can stay healthy and get playing time, I don't think they're going to be the number 1 seed. I think if I was to pick the number 1 seed right now, it'd be the Nuggets in the Western Conference. But I think they're going to be a good team that's going to make it to the playoffs. And then if they have played together a lot when they get to the playoffs, I think that they can become contenders. But as of right now, I haven't seen them all on the court yet. That's why I don't consider them contenders right now.
That's true. I definitely think the chemistry is going to have to build up over time because we brought in so many new people, which going back to the depth thing, I think that's crazy how they've managed this offseason because when they signed Beal, I think it was Book, DA, KD, and Campaign were the only people they actually had for more than a 1-year contract, and then that was their roster, their full roster. So for them to pick up in like solid pieces, it wasn't like a I saw people saying they should go pick up what's his name, the dude that fucking LeBron's mom, Delonte West. Delonte West. I saw people saying that they should pick up Delonte West. So for them to end up getting some solid pieces like Eric Gordon, Yuta Watanabe, that is really impressive to me that they managed to do that. A lot of them are old, then Bol. I called it. I literally called it 2 years ago. And then 2 years to the day, they signed Bol. I think that is just fantastic.
Hey, Bol. He was a University of Oregon guy. So I'm a big fan. I think Bol is potentially one of the most interesting players. I think he probably is the most interesting player, like, that's not a superstar.
Yeah.
Because you can see, when you watch him play, you can tell he's not the best at basketball. Like, obviously.
Yeah, but his highlights go crazy.
His highlights are insane. And, like, I think, and that's the other thing is, like, yeah, from an owner's perspective, I would definitely want to bring in Bol.
Yeah.
Bol will put on highlights that put butts into seats. Not all the time.
Yeah, but he's that guy.
It's kind of a Boban Marjanovic kind of situation. You're like, he's just 7'3". Like, he's huge.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, this is just an insane human being.
Yeah.
And then seeing them shoot the basketball from, like, you're like, what's going on? Like, I don't think he's gonna play very much. I think he's gonna get 10 minutes, if even, a game. Like, I don't think he's gonna be playing a lot. But I do agree. I think Eric Gordon was a huge get for them. Eric Gordon has been a very good player,
solid role player.
Yeah, and like, he's not a star, but you don't need another star.
Yeah, you
need
have
the guy
three.
who can come in and get minutes.
Exactly.
Right, a guy that can hold his own for 15 minutes a game. Like, that's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I think Yuta is a little bit overrated as a pickup. I don't think he's that
Bro,
great.
he's gonna be a good backup though. I 100% think he's gonna
He's a
be a
really
good
good
backup.
backup. I don't know if it's gonna be like a. I don't know if he's gonna get solid minutes, if I'm being honest. Which it worries me because you want a wing that can kind of take over when Kevin Durant needs a break.
Yeah, which will be hopefully often.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens with their bench. I still think that their depth isn't the best. I just saw actually that Kelly Oubre, who used to play for the Suns, just signed with the 76ers.
That broke my heart, man.
Yeah.
I wish we had Oubre. He was such a solid player.
He was a very solid player. Averaged like 20 points last year, I think.
Yeah.
Very good player for I don't remember what team he played for last year, but
Charlotte.
was it the Hornets? Yeah, that's right. So I think they're an interesting team, but I think historically, like you look historically at the Suns, I think Phoenix sports have always sucked ass. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot going on in Phoenix. A lot of sand and a lot of hopes and dreams.
Losing. Yeah. But I do think that this is our best chance since Amari Stoudemire, Steve Nash, Shawn Marion. You know, I definitely feel like this is the best Suns team we've had in a while, if not in the history of the organization.
I think that is potentially true. I'm hesitant to go all in on the Suns again. Because I thought, when they had Chris Paul, they had Devin Booker, DA still was competent and knew how to play basketball. When that was what was going on, I bought in a lot, and they quite frankly disappointed me.
Quite frankly, yes. No, it was very upsetting.
Yes, it was. And so I think that, yes, while I do think this has the potential to be the best team, I'm hesitant to go all in and say that, this is better than any Suns team we've ever seen.
Okay. I get you. Speaking of DA, do you think we should have kept him or traded him? Very polarizing players. Some people, you either love or hate him.
Yeah, I think DA is a player that you don't trade yet. You need someone. You're not going to trade for anyone. Like, I think at one point I said trade DA for role players.
Mm-hmm.
Right, get guys who can come in and get minutes.
Yeah.
The problem is that they're looking to go to a championship. They're not looking to win a bunch of games in the regular season and do all these things. That's not what they're looking to do. They want to win a championship. And I'm not saying that DeAndre Ayton is a championship level center. What I am saying though is that if there's any strong suit you look at the teams that are elite right now, you have guys like Giannis, you have guys like Jokic, you have guys like Embiid.
Yeah.
You need a competent big man that can help with those guys, because quite frankly, if you look at who you could trade DeAndre Ayton for, you're not going to get a better big man than him.
Okay, I feel you.
And I think that, and so I did think, okay, they should trade him for role players and get some backup. That would help them in the regular season. Mm-hmm. It would help them win games in the regular season, right? They're going to have way more depth, and I understand that even in the playoffs, depth is important. I think it's much less important though in the playoffs.
Right.
You need your star players to be star players in the playoffs. That's what wins you games. That's what wins you championships. And so I think that keeping DeAndre Ayton is saying, listen, we know the people we're going to have to face, whether it's in the Eastern Conference, whether it's if we make it to the championship and have to face a guy like Embiid potentially, or face a guy like Giannis, we are going to, just to get there, we're more likely going to have to go through Jokic.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
At this point in time, right now, you can't trade DeAndre Ayton for a center or for somebody that is going to guard, is going to be able to at least hold their own, hopefully, or is going to at least give you the best chance to do that against Jokic than DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
And so I think that for that reason, they understand that the big man position is one of the most prevalent. I mean, if you want to count the Lakers in, I mean, you have Anthony Davis there too.
Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo with the Heat, like the big man compared to the other teams. I feel like DeAndre Ayton is just not that good of a center. And the worst part is that we've traded or let go of most of our backups. Like Jock Landale went to the Spurs. Why didn't we re-sign Jock Landale? I really don't understand that, because as much as I love Bol, he is just as dominant in the paint as DeAndre Ayton, and that is not saying much. So that's my biggest concern. I think offensively, the Suns probably one of the most offensive teams in the NBA right now, just with the big three alone. But I feel like that might be enough to carry us to the playoffs. But I feel like when it comes down to it, like you said, we're going to have to go through some very, very elite big men to get to the championship. So while I am hopeful, I think DeAndre Ayton needs to put in a lot more work. There was a whole lot of controversy with him and Monty Williams, and for some reason they let Monty Williams go. Still don't understand that. I am going to be optimistic with Frank Vogel though, because he is a championship winning coach. Will he be able to do it again? I very, very much hope so. I was not the biggest Frank Vogel guy, but now I kind of have to be because he's my team. But you know, I don't know. I am excited. It's gonna be a fun season regardless.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think the highlights on ESPN are gonna be fantastic.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me how since the bubble, the Suns have become one of the biggest like national teams, right? Because like if you look back 2019, no one talked about the Suns, you know, but then they went on that winning streak in the bubble, and then they started getting more games, and now I think they have like the fourth most nationally televised games. I don't remember the exact stat, but they're on TV a lot more now, and all of a sudden they were talking about, there was rumors Kyrie wanted to talk to the Suns, James Harden wanted to talk to the Suns. When Kevin Durant got traded, that blew my mind. If you look back 2017, there's no shot you think at this time Kevin Durant would be a Phoenix Sun. That is just mind-boggling. So the development's been crazy. I definitely think they are contenders. I really, really, really hope that they get it done.
Yeah. And I think that it's, I will admit, I think the trade of the firing of Monty Williams was definitely surprising to me. Because I understand last year's was very disappointing.
But I don't think Monty was the problem.
I agree. And it might be a case that Monty Williams, he's historically great with young players. Mm-hmm. So, like, I get that. It's just part of me wonders, like, when I look at coach to coach, and again, I'm not the biggest basketball guy. I'm not in the meetings. I'm not seeing any of these things. Yeah. But from my perspective, Monty Williams is a far better coach than Frank Vogel. Yeah. Is kind of how I see it. Frank Vogel, I understand he was a championship coach with the Lakers.
The bubble Lakers.
If I'm being honest, I think almost most coaches that have coached LeBron have been coached with LeBron. It doesn't really matter. He brings all of them to the championship.
I feel you.
Like that's maybe that's a hot take, but I'm not saying that those coaches haven't been great, but like I feel like it is discounted a little bit with Frank.
It's watered down. Yeah.
It's not like he's not like a Greg Popovich where like he's crafting this team to take them to the promised land. Like it's,
he joined LeBron.
LeBron is on the team. It makes it a little bit easier to go to get a championship with the best player of all time. Sorry, I said it. Sorry, Jordan fans. It makes it a little bit easier to go to the championship.
I feel you. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I definitely think he has more playoff experience just in general than Monty Williams. So I definitely think he can. I think he can contribute at least some knowledge that we previously didn't have.
I would agree with that.
Where Monty went to the Pistons?
He did. I think he's going to do very well with the Pistons.
Very well, because they got a solid young core.
They have, yeah. I think the Pistons could make some waves this year. I think
they're going to be a fun team to watch for sure.
As long as Cade Cunningham can stay healthy. I mean, if he can stay healthy, I think that they can be definitely a legit team.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now it's time for my least favorite part of this. Let's talk about the NFL and the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
I would love to start out if I may.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think the perfect way to describe the Arizona Cardinals is the team that has just historically been bitched on. is kind of how I describe them.
Yeah.
Specifically by my personal favorite team, the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Let's look at the record. Who's won more games against who? In if you look at just again, even against the NFC West, what have the Cardinals done?
Jack shit.
I mean, nothing. I mean, like they've done. Larry Fitzgerald's cool, I guess, but you know, we're not talking about. I see Arizona, even just as a state, as
Okay.
you know what, it's where people go to die. That's kind of what Arizona is. You know, you have the old people who want sunshine. They're going to Arizona to die. That's what most people go to the Cardinals to do too. For their careers to die.
You know what? I mean, I guess that's J.J. Watt did retire a Cardinal, so I guess
J.J. Watt retired a Cardinal. Super disappointing.
Yeah.
One of the best defensive ends of all time ends on the worst team ever.
The worst.
But DeAndre Hopkins sucked. I mean, he was cool for like the first year, and you're like, oh my god, we only traded David Johnson in like a second-round pick, and then he turned out to not be very good. I mean, he was all right like the first couple of years, but now, I mean, now he went to the second worst team where you go for your career to die, the Tennessee Titans. So, sure, he's having a blast over there. Being what are they? Fucking 1-1 this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So here's the thing. Here's how I see it. In the past couple of years, in the same way that the Phoenix Suns, I see the Phoenix Suns, it's a lot of flash. You guys traded for Robbie Anderson, who I think has changed his name.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what it is.
But
it's something
Robbie.
like Robbie Chosen or something. I don't really know. It's
He's like Enos Cantor.
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna call him Big Rob.
Big Rob. Okay. Yeah.
He's here for Big Rob. He sucked. He's bad. He's not even playing for the Cardinals anymore.
No.
But he was great with the Panthers while he was there, and I think the Jets. He was okay, but not much. He traded for Marquise Brown. Is that his name? The wide
Hollywood
receiver.
Brown. Yeah.
Hollywood Brown. Yeah. He also sucks. He's not very good. He was never very good with the Ravens. He's not very good on your team either. He was injured last year. I think he tore his ACL against the Seahawks, actually. Tariq Woolen got an interception on that play, by the way. Actually,
okay. All right.
Anyway, I'm not here to talk about the Seahawks. I'm here to talk about how bad the Cardinals are.
Yeah.
And even, you look at all these things that they've done. They all like, oh my God, they have Kyler Murray with all these weapons. You got Zach Ertz. You got, whatever. And
James
this
Conner
team has just been so bad.
Yeah.
You look at Cliff Kingsbury. Awful. Went to Thailand after he left that organization. Who does that? Who goes to Thailand willingly?
Yeah, that's like going to Cancun after losing the playoffs.
Is it like that? Cancun is nice.
Okay.
Who chooses to go? I'm going to Thailand. Yeah, who chooses to do that? People who go to Thailand to die, to retire. That's what they do. I digress.
Okay,
Cliff Kingsbury, bad coach.
Horrible coach.
It is, I think, one of the worst run organizations. There was a year where I remember that the Cardinals were considered legit contenders, and they fell apart.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember even with Cliff Kingsbury. You look at Cliff Kingsbury with Kyler Murray. You guys were considered like okay, and then the second half of the season, you guys went like 1-8 or something. Like, it was awful. It was god awful.
It was horrible.
I think you go a couple years back when you had David Johnson and you had all these players, and even the Carson Palmer days with Larry Fitzgerald. There were times when people were saying these guys are contenders. I think there was one year you won the NFC West, which is not an easy division to win, and you still suck. You still underwhelmed. 100%. Sorry, Christian. You love your team, but they're ass. They suck.
No, I get it.
You know what? Bitched on. That's what I said it once. I'll say it again. They're the franchise that gets bitched on.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. I mean, Kurt Warner was cool, I guess.
Back in the day.
Yeah, but what has he really done? What, he's won a Super Bowl? Did he win a Super Bowl with the Cardinals?
The Cardinals have not won a Super Bowl in franchise history.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because that's right. Because the Steelers.
Yeah, Big Ben
bitched on you.
Yeah, bitched on us 100%.
Pretty much.
That was so disappointing.
Yeah. I don't like this as a Seahawks fan. I don't like the Steelers either. So
I hate the Steelers. Yeah.
Yeah, they suck. I hate Big Ben.
Yeah, Big Ben. I'm like
Big
bitch Ben.
Sucks. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But I don't. Here's the thing. I think the Cardinals are just bad. I think they're. Here's the thing. I don't think they. I think they have talent. I love Budda Baker. Budda Baker's a UW guy.
Dude, he got put on the injury reserves.
He is
like a couple days ago.
Yeah. See,
very disappointing.
Yeah, but I love Budda Baker. Budda Baker is
Baker
fantastic.
too.
You know, I think that he is the only bright spot on a very dark team. If you want to put it that way. I think that the Kyler Murray situation is a lost cause.
100%.
And I don't know if you heard this, but Caleb Williams, the guy at USC, who is like the undisputed number 1 overall pick.
100%. Yes. Yeah.
Like he's the next Trevor Lawrence kind of number 1 overall pick. Like I don't think he's as good of a prospect as Trevor Lawrence, but he's good. He's gonna go number 1 overall.
Super good. Yes.
Is deciding that he may go back to USC if the right team isn't picking first overall.
Which means if the Cardinals are the first, that means that he's going to stay at USC.
He's going back to USC. That's how bad the organization is.
Which is so heartbreaking too, because aren't we projected to have like the top 2 picks?
Yes.
In the upcoming draft.
Yes.
That is so if Caleb Williams just decides not to, that's going to be heartbreaking. I would be so upset.
I would be very happy.
I know you would, but you know.
Because I don't want to face Caleb Williams twice a year. I want Caleb Williams on my team.
I don't see that happening, though.
Here's how I see it. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you right now. The Cardinals over the past couple of years have had high expectations. High-ish expectations. Not crazy high or anything like that.
Make the playoffs. Those were our expectations.
What's that?
I said our expectations were to make the playoffs.
Exactly.
At least, you know, that's what I think.
Not win the Super Bowl, not be contenders, make the playoffs, do something that is moving in the right direction. Kyler Murray has been bad or injured. The offense hasn't been able to do anything, really. The defense has sucked. It has been just a complete mess of a franchise.
Yeah.
However, I will say, in the past 2 weeks, the football team has looked good.
Even though we have a losing record. We have lost both.
You have an 0-2 record.
Yes.
But let me tell you, I thought you were going to get blown out in all games. I said I had the Cardinals winning 1 game this year. They're going to win more than 1 game. It's going to happen. I know they're 0-2 right now. They don't look like a very good football team. Josh Dobbs doesn't look like a bad quarterback. Like, he's not great, but he doesn't look as bad as I thought he was going to look. You know, when they got rid of Colt McCoy, I said this team is planning on taking and just staying that way. They're just going to tank.
Yeah.
But if you look, they're 0-2 right now. They came close against the Washington Commanders, who I thought was going to bitch on you. Again, same common theme here.
Yeah.
But I think that you saw flashes, especially on defense, which was insane.
Our defense looked really good. Our defense looked solid.
Yeah, and I think last week, if I'm being honest, you should have won.
Should have 100%
against the Giants. You were up like 28.
It was 28-7 at halftime.
Yeah, at halftime. Yeah, and then Danny Dimes was Danny Dimes. I guess. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's not much. Not much to do there.
So I think you should have won that game. I thought you were going to win that game, and then had a crazy comeback win, whatever. And again, I understand, disappointing, for sure, but going up 28-7 on any team means you're not gonna go 0-17. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna win a game. I
think
eventually. I don't know when that is. I don't know how it's gonna come about, but you're gonna win a couple football games if you can put up 28 points on the team. It's bound to happen. Especially with, and I think maybe I got a little bit ahead of myself saying how bad their head coach is gonna be. Because I guess I didn't have the fire in my gut to understand his vision.
Right. Yeah.
But he looks like a fantastic defensive coach. I mean, you look at that defense is not good. Their talent is not there.
No, it's not.
But they are a competent defense. And that's because of coaching.
That is
and so I have to give it to Gannon. Gannon has been doing his thing on that defensive side of the ball, and the offense is getting it done. James Conner looks like a beast.
Oh, dog. Absolute dog. He might be one of the best team's best players.
Like, it was it was a complete joke of just the motivational speeches that he gave.
Gosh,
just not good.
It was atrocious.
But look at this team, and he's right. I mean, this team has fire under their ass that I could not expect that they were going to have even a little bit.
Right.
Like, if you told me that the Cardinals never scored 28 points in the game for the entire season, I would have believed you.
But then it happened.
Like,
game
that's
2.
how bad I thought this team was going to be. But Josh Dobbs with the wide receiving core that you have, and Zach Ertz and James Conner in the backfield, and an offensive line that's bad, but it's at least
it can give him time to throw the ball.
Yeah, a little bit of time with the right scheming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The offense doesn't look bad. Josh Dobbs doesn't look bad, which is really surprising.
Very surprising. Yeah.
I think he without the hair on top, he's a little more aerodynamic to run. I think is what it is.
He did get he got his first rushing touchdown.
He had 2. Didn't he have 2 last week?
I only saw 1. I stopped watching at halftime. I was like, oh, we're gonna win this game. So imagine my surprise when we lost. But yeah, no, I did see. I think they said that was his first career rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
And he trucked
looked
through
good.
them. It looked solid.
And he looks fired up. Like,
got that fire in his gut.
At all. Yeah. Exactly. He had Taco Bell that afternoon. He had that fire in his gut. It was really surprising. Like, the team was not bad. They didn't look like how I expected the Cardinals to look. And, like, I really think that they're going to win a couple games.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really surprising to me. Because, again, especially those underdog teams. I mean, it could be that because they're an underdog, right? Underdog teams, they have something to prove. That could be it. And here's my thing is I don't want the Cardinals to have the first overall pick because I want the Seahawks to trade up to the first overall pick and get Caleb Williams.
Right.
And my Seahawks aren't looking too good either this year. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We look all right, but Devin Witherspoon looks like a dog. But either way, I mean, even if you look at, I think Paris Johnson. I don't even know if Paris Johnson is playing their first overall pick this year. But Michael Wilson has had a couple nice catches. The guy out of Stanford this year. They look like they could be a good team in the future. I mean, and I don't know if Gannon is the answer at head coach, but
I don't see
he's definitely got his guys fired up.
I don't see a world where he's the coach that leads us to a Super Bowl. Just me.
I mean, I feel like is that really? Here's the thing. He led a defense last year with the Eagles that was one of the best in the league. And usually, I think typically defensive head coaches don't do that well in the NFL anymore because it's an offensive league.
Yeah.
Having an offensive head, the Andy Reids of the world are dominating. The Kevin Stefanski, that's not his name. Sirianni with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are offensive guys. You look at Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. These guys are all offensive guys. And they're running the league. So I don't necessarily disagree. I think that they're going to have, for the first time in a long time, the Cardinals are going to have a coach that is competent.
Yes.
Yeah. Because Cliff Kingsbury was not very good.
I don't know how he went from having a bad season in college to a promotion to the NFL, right? Like, that makes no sense to me. How do you go from because he was Texas or Tennessee? He was one of those. He coached.
I want to say Texas.
He coached Texas, and
Texas
then
Tech, I think, right?
yeah. And then once they had a bad season, he got more money going to the NFL, where he coached a bad NFL team. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, they looked good in the first half of the season.
See, here's the thing. A couple years ago, I was very excited, especially after we got Hollywood Brown. D-Hop got injured, kind of unfortunate. But then when we picked up Robbie Anderson, Big Rob, I was like, oh, okay. Well, we traded him for like a half-open can of Pringles. This is, fine by me. I thought it was a steal. I was like, okay, Kyler Murray is healthy. He's got a decent receiving core. I think we can do something here, which I think that's what a lot of people thought. But that's just not what happened, because in my eyes, Kyler Murray is the Ben Simmons of the NFL. He is either injured or he don't got the fire in his gut. It's just like, bro, when it came out that instead of watching game film, he was playing Call of Duty. What the hell, right?
I mean, Call of Duty is fun.
Call of Duty is fun, but
and you can quote me on that.
Okay, I'll quote you on that. But no, I don't see how you get paid millions of dollars to play a game of play football.
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have the motivation to improve your game when you are being framed in the media as the quarterback that will do it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's very disappointing. So like you said, I think that there are some upsides, but overall, I mean, the team was number 32 in the power rankings this year. It's there's no expectations there.
You guys are gonna be bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
going to be bad. I want to ask you, what do you think are the steps the Cardinals have to take to at least be a playoff team? Because right now, I don't see us being a playoff team.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. As much as it hurts to say.
Yeah. You're far away from a playoff team. Like
far away, it's very
not,
far. Yeah.
It's not. Here's what I think personally. I think that, again, when I played football, I was a lineman. Like, I understand. I think everything starts with the line, offensive and defensive line. They make everything else easier, and you guys don't have a great offensive or defensive line, and so, I think offense, defensive line, and quarterback, quite frankly, are the most important just positions in football. You have your left tackle now. You have Paris Johnson, who is a dog. He is he's going to be your starting left tackle for sure. If you can build out the rest of that line, again, I'm not particularly sure who is on the offensive line, but just get some guys that can mesh together, that can play well. You look at some of the best teams. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Like last year, they have all these players that are, especially like the tackles and like those positions where they have guys that can just give Patrick Mahomes time to do what he does best.
Yeah.
Right? When you have guys like that on your offensive line that can just give your quarterback time, and you have a good quarterback, like I even think Kyler Murray can be the quarterback. I think he has to have a change in mentality, and we haven't seen him on the field. It's possible that he does. He just hasn't seen the field yet, because Kyler Murray obviously has the talent.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
It's just, can he stay healthy, and can he kind of stay out of the media? Right? I think the quarterbacks that do best are the guys that
keep their head down.
They keep their head down. They work hard, right? The best guys in the league, they're not making a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
Right? They're not making headlines for saying, let's ride. That's not the best quarterbacks in the league.
Right.
It's the Patrick Mahomes who you don't hear anything about. You see highlights on ESPN, but you're not hearing about all this other stuff, right?
He's just playing football.
Jalen Hurts, right? He plays football. These guys love football, right? That's what they do. And so I think Kyler Murray can do it, but he's gotta stay focused on football. I think if you can build out that offensive line and make it so, you know what, Kyler Murray doesn't have to run all the time. Like, make it so, you know what, we can threaten the run with Kyler Murray, but make it so we're gonna beat you Kyler Murray's arm down the field. I think that your wide receiving core is good. I really like Michael Wilson. If he can stay healthy, as a rookie this year and kind of get playing time, I think he's going to be a very good wide receiver. He's not the fastest guy, but his route running is incredible.
Right.
So if you can keep him healthy and kind of work with Hollywood Brown, because Hollywood Brown he always has the nuclear option of just bombing it down the field. Like he has that kind of speed and that kind of athleticism down the field, right? I think with that, I think the really important thing is defense. I think, and again, like I was saying, on both offensive and defensive line, if you can have a defensive line that stops the run and can get to the quarterback, not even all the time, but it can just has the ability to go get the quarterback. I mean, look at the Dallas Cowboys this year. They have dominated because they have just not given anyone any time to do anything.
Right.
An offense cannot run if they don't have time. So, like, if you have a defensive line that can suffocate the run and say, you know what, you're not going, like, you're not going to be able to run and drain clock on us. And you have a defensive line that can get to the quarterback, which, again, a lot easier said than done. But if you can do it, it makes everything else so much easier. You don't have to have so much talent in the secondary when you have a bunch of talent up front.
Right.
And so I think that if you can beef up your offensive and defensive line, I honestly think if you just did those things, I think you could potentially be a playoff, be in the hunt for the playoffs. Right, I think if you just beefed up your offensive and defensive line and Kyler Murray stays healthy. like I really think, and you have Buda Baker in the secondary. Again, he's a safety. He's not like a starting corner or anything like that.
Still
But
a very talented player. Very good.
yeah, and if we're not talking about being contenders, we're just talking about making the playoffs. Like it's hard. We're in the NFC West, both the Seahawks and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's a tough division. I mean, we got the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Cardinals. Like it's a tough division.
Stacked.
It's just a stacked division. I mean, I understand the Rams are not very good this year, or last year they weren't very good. But like they just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Like they're not a bad team. Like when Matthew Stafford's healthy, they're a pretty good team. And you have Sean McVay at head coach, like, and you have Aaron Donald on that team too. Like they're gonna be a competent team, right? Like it's not. There's no teams where you're like, we're gonna be able to run over this team. There's no team like that in the NFC West. I think it makes it a lot harder, but I think that doing those two things, and honestly, I think keeping the head coach, I think Gannon can get you to the playoffs. I think with how talented he is as a defensive, as he was with the Eagles as a defensive coordinator, I think he can get you to the playoffs. Now, as for like Super Bowl contention,
that's a whole. You gotta make. I think if you want to be in the Super Bowl, we would have to make some drastic changes.
I think Kyler Murray cannot be in the picture to be.
I don't think he's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Simply just again because of the mentality. I don't see that happening.
I 100% agree. I honestly, if you did make it to the Super Bowl, which I don't think you would with Kyler Murray, he would crumble.
Yeah.
I don't think. I really think that because I don't think he has that quality. Like to be a superstar, Super Bowl winning quarterback, you need to have those certain X factor qualities that I don't think Kyler Murray has.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I guess. I feel like
it'll be very interesting.
The next time the Cardinals are in the Super Bowl, you and I will both have grandkids.
Yeah, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
So, I will have died of old age at that point, but we'll see.
No, I definitely agree. I think our lineman is our biggest flaw right now. Tyler Gardeck, though, dog. Absolute dog. He's probably the best. You know who I miss? I miss when Tyrann Mathieu was on our team before he went to the Chiefs.
Mathieu was a very good player.
He was a very good player. He still is a solid player.
A little bit older now, but yeah, he's still
very good. He's a very good piece for the Chiefs, but I wish he was on our team. I don't think that would be, the game changer, but it would definitely help.
For sure.
All right, well, that's probably all we really need. Gavin, thank you for your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me on.
Any last words you want to say about the Phoenix Suns and or the Arizona Cardinals before we go?
I think Phoenix is an awful city.
All right.